Welcome to Spotlight New England. I'm one of your hosts, Audrey McClelland.
And I'm Ashley Erling, and you've already had quite a busy day today.
I had a busy morning.
You were hosting the Y Heroes Celebration Breakfast.
Yes.
Which they honor community members every year, but you were emceeing this year.
I was emceeing. So usually Mike Montecalvo does this every year. It was at the Crown Plaza.
Beloved Mike
Beloved.
Montecalvo.
I was just telling you how much people love him.
Yeah.
And he actually won one of the Y Hero Awards this year.
Deserved.
So I said to him, I'm like, I know I have big shoes to fill today.
Yeah.
Because there's a ton of people there. There was like 400
how does
people.
it go? I have never been to it. So what is it like?
So they have, obviously the community can come, you can buy tickets, but there's a lot of sponsorships opportunities as well. Here's some of the footage here at the beginning of the day, but it really is just politicians coming together, community leaders, business owners, and honestly members of the YMCA. And they're all coming together, and Karen Santilli, who's the CEO, obviously the Greater Providence YMCA, she's been here so many times.
Yeah.
And I've just gotten to know her throughout the years and just talking about my YMCA legacy and how, much is meant to our family,
Yeah,
as, even
she
as
was
when I was a
telling me
kid.
when I saw her last time how excited she was to have you.
Yeah.
They're doing it in place of Mike because he was winning, and you have such a strong connection to the Y.
Right.
And I said, you really do.
I do.
You swam there. Your family swam there.
Right. And I always say, like, growing up, like, my parents were both teachers in Rhode Island. We didn't have a ton of money, but, like, we went to the YMCA for, like, every event. We would go for, like, family swim, would go to, like, the after-school programs there. It was just, like, a great place. And so I have continued that legacy with my own family.
Yeah.
So my kids went to, like, preschool there. It just, like, is a great spot. And so it was great today to be there to honor people in our community that have come together. Like, David Cicilline was one of them who's come to the show. There was also a woman, Riley Kelly, who's a student at URI, and she's created, like, a program being a Division I athlete into South County Y. So everybody had this incredible story. And, of course, Mike Montecalvo.
Yes. For anyone who doesn't know, I mean, you see Mike on TV, but he is so dedicated to the community, and he goes to he puts us to shame. I mean, we go to a lot of things, but he goes to every community event.
Yeah.
And he is so supportive of so many different local organizations. And,
he really is.
It's well deserved.
He's an unbelievable human being, like on screen and off.
Yeah.
And he's so humble, which I think makes you just like him even more. So congratulations to the winners today. And it was just an honor.
And congratulations to you. I heard you did an amazing job emceeing.
I said, I'm like, I had big shoes to fill. So I was like, I went in, I was a little nervous. I didn't eat this morning.
A little intimidating.
And then I was like ravenous afterwards, so I stopped at Dunkin'. But yeah, so
all good.
I even called my dad. I'm like, I made it. I made it. I'm 47, and I still need to call him.
Great. You did
so, great. Yeah, but it was great.
So tell me, does your family at night when you guys are at home, do you watch like Wheel of Fortune, Jeopardy, or any of those shows?
We do Family Feud.
Oh, you do Family Feud?
Yes.
Okay.
We're like animals.
We have started watching in our house Wheel of Fortune and Jeopardy.
Oh, okay.
Well, because I like to pretend to be smart, and I
get no questions right on Jeopardy.
I occasionally will get one or two right, and it impresses the kids, and that's the only reason I put it on. Last night on Wheel of Fortune, they actually had 3 local firefighters from North Providence go on. Funny, last night I was actually out to dinner with Josh, and we were at a local restaurant in our town, and this was on TV, so I was kind of watching out of the corner of my eye, but I wasn't at home watching like I normally am because we were at a restaurant.
Yes.
So they were competing against each other, which I loved. I thought it was like so fun, and you must get Wheel of Fortune.
I do love Wheel of Fortune. I do. Well, we watch it too. We always try to solve obviously the puzzles, but right now I'm thinking even that's running, right?
Well, even when we were sitting at dinner last night, I think it was actually probably the final puzzle, and I knew the first. As soon as we walked in, I was like,
"Did you know?"
I knew the first 2 words, and it was one of those before and after ones.
Okay, yeah. They can be tough. They can be tough,
and I couldn't figure out the second word. But how fun to watch local.
Did
people
anybody know that they were on like at the restaurant? Did they know that they were?
I don't know because I had known, but then I'd forgotten. So then when I got home later, I was like, "Oh my gosh, wait, that was them tonight."
Yes.
And I was like going back to see how they did.
I love it.
It was very fun.
That is very cool.
Isn't it cool to see local people?
Yes, always.
I love that. And it's just, Wheel of Fortune's such a fun show. And Ryan's
it's a legacy show. He's doing awesome.
He's doing a great job.
Yeah, he's like the perfect
That's
fit for
it.
that
Talk
show.
about filling in big shoes.
Oh, I know. But he's like he's risen to the occasion.
He really has.
He's awesome. We love him.
Yeah, we do.
Love him here.
All right, we have a lot coming up still today on Spotlight New England. So stick around. Right after this break, we will be talking to the brand new Miss Rhode Island. Welcome back over the weekend to brand new Miss Rhode Island's were crowned, and they are already making waves in the Ocean State. We're actually going to talk to both of them today, but we're starting with the 2025 Miss Rhode Island, Alexi Rodriguez. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. so excited to be here, guys.
We're so
Excited to have
excited
you.
to get to know you a little bit better. We heard a little bit, you were on the Rhode show as well, which we're excited to have you there. But this has been a bit of a whirlwind, I would imagine, for you. How are you feeling right now?
It's been the craziest 72 hours of my life. I don't think it's real. I still wake up every morning and I look at my nightstand and I'm like, okay, no, it's still there.
The crown.
I didn't
Still
dream
mine.
it.
Yeah, this is still happening. But I'm very excited to get out into the community.
It's incredible. And we were talking this morning too, resilience seems to be obviously a lot with you, but the more that we were kind of like peeling away the layers, there's so much to you.
Yes.
There truly is. But I kind of want to start with you at the beginning. When did you really know, okay, so you know what, this is something that I want to be a part of. I'd like to try to be a part of this sisterhood.
Honestly, I think it was after my first competition. My first competition, I simply was competing because everyone told me I couldn't do it. And
Which
I'm a
love.
stubborn
I love
person.
that too.
Yeah, I was like, oh, you think I can't? I'm going to show you. And I did horribly. I tripped on stage. I was not graceful in the slightest. I still couldn't hold eye contact with people.
Wow.
But I met amazing girls, like amazing women who ended up being my mentors as I grew up and
great.
my best friends. So that's why I came back. And it was that second time that I came back and I competed. And this time I competed in the Miss America organization.
Okay.
And I stepped out of my interview and I just remember looking at my mom and I was like, I'm going to Miss America one day. And she thought I was crazy.
Oh, it just give me goosebumps.
She was like, okay, yeah, sure you are, hon. But she was like, if that's what you want, like, let's put in the work and let's do it. And 8 years later, here we are going to Miss America in September. So
I
Unbelievable.
absolutely love this story because I think it's so important to, remind people about resiliency and how, maybe you start doing something and you're not great at it when you start, but it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
yes.
It's like something, if you just keep trying, you'll get there. Take us more through
Exactly.
your journey of through the years. And now, I mean, to go from, having an okay time and fun with your friends on stage to winning and now going to Miss America. You've worked for it, though.
Yeah, you
I have. I've put in the hours. So I'm a recruiter with the National Guard. So I was away at a 5-week course for recruiting school in Arkansas, flew back home, and then 5 hours later, I was up for hair and makeup for my Miss Rhode Island interview this year. Wow. And the whole time at Arkansas, I was walking in my heels in my little hotel room around my bed. I was working with my pageant coach, and I was having everybody in my platoon ask me random questions.
Oh, smart.
Yeah, they all had my fact sheet and my resume sheet, which is what the judges get to ask you questions, and they would just randomly throw one at me or throw a current event at me, and on the spot, I'd have
smart.
an answer. They're the harshest critics.
I was
by
going to
the way.
say, that's going to be
Harshest critics.
tough.
But it was so incredibly helpful.
Yeah.
So it's been a lot of prep, but honestly, I think the biggest prep has come with me growing into myself. When I first stepped on the stage, I was ashamed of my story of growing up in foster care. I would never talk about the loss of my sister. It was things that I felt like I had to always be the strongest person in every room I walked into. And it was this organization and the incredible women I met through this organization that taught me that vulnerability is a strength and femininity and leadership can coexist.
I love that. It's
And
so
look
important.
at you now. I mean,
know.
that's amazing. And you were saying, that the National Guard and pageantry, really, people don't always think it, but there actually are, like, you have found many similarities that have helped you.
So many similarities. And when I first joined the military, I thought that was it for me in pageantry. And it was an amazing mentor and now friend, Captain Curtis, a former Miss Rhode Island in 2015, who taught me that they're not mutually exclusive, that you can be a phenomenal leader and learn to lead with empathy and compassion and still be feminine and strong and powerful. And she's really is the one that taught me that lesson, that they can not only coexist, but they can help you succeed in each area. So
I love hearing that, especially
Yeah.
as a mom to a young girl and just growing up in this day and age. My daughter's 11 and I was letting, and also Ocean before that, this is something that like in her, kind of like exactly what you're saying, it's something that like you kind of dream about as a young girl. But then as you get older and outside forces start to come in, that sense of freeness and I can do anything does start to change.
100%.
But I love too, because you said, I even wrote it down. You said, no doesn't mean forever, just right now.
Yes.
Like, but how do you keep such
That's
a
very
positive
wise for
attitude?
someone of your age. I don't even know how old you are, but I know
Thank
we're
you.
older.
Really?
That's very wise.
Right, because you do learn those kind of lessons in life the older you get. Where does this strength come from?
I think it's just my family, the village, and friends that I have around me.
Yeah.
My childhood definitely wasn't ordinary.
Yeah.
It was a bit abnormal. I struggled with a lot of things, imposter syndrome, feeling like I had a voice, finding a place to belong. But it was my mom, my dad, and my aunts and cousins who always made sure that even if I was scared to use my voice, that they held the microphone close enough so others could hear me.
Oh, I love that.
And
It's beautiful.
Thank you. It's really them. That it's not just my crown. It's everyone who helped me get here, and that is not lost on me. That I would not be here without the amazing village behind me.
It really seems like you truly care about other people. You're not just saying it. Even when you were talking to Audrey about her daughter, and you said, I would love to meet her and talk to her. It seems like you've had mentors. Is it important to you now to kind of continue on that tradition?
Yes.
Pass the crown, if you will.
Yes.
And be a mentor yourself?
Exactly that. So as a recruiter, it's the reason I took the job being a recruiter is because I'm not only able to get people to join, but then I get to help with what's called the RSP program, the Recruit Sustainment Program, before they ship off to basic training. And that's when you teach them how to be a soldier. You teach them what good leadership looks like, what independence, integrity, selfless service, all of these Army values. And that's why I took the job. Mentorship is at the core of my heart. It's what I love to do. It's my passion. So
special.
this title just allows me to do that on a bigger stage, and I'm so excited for that opportunity.
It's unbelievable. So take me through, because I can't even imagine what this is like. But like, you're standing there, it's the final seconds.
Yes.
You know that you're going to find out within the next, second or so if it's going to be you or not. What is going through your head? Honestly, like, is it nerves going from head to toe?
Yes.
Yeah, that's just what it is.
I was praying. Like, that's all I remember doing. I was like, please, dear God, it's been 8 years and I'm thinking, like, I can't do this again. I don't think I can do
Jesus,
this again.
please.
Just please. I've worked so hard. And then I heard it was actually Allie Curtis who got to call my name. She was emceeing this year.
Goodness.
So it was her 10th
What a great
anniversary.
moment.
Yeah. So I remember them calling my name. I dropped down. I look at the videos and I was like, oh my gosh, I'm such an ugly crier.
We all are.
Yeah,
It's okay.
I dropped down and then I was taking my walk, and this is a moment that will forever be etched into my soul. I looked over at Allie on the podium and just like tears and pride in her eyes, and I was like, this is why I kept coming back. It was because of women like her. It was because of all of the amazing girls, and now Ocean, who I've had such an incredible time getting to know. It's because of them. It's the sisterhood. It's them rooting for you. It's them speaking your name in every room of opportunity.
Yeah.
And that's really what sisterhood and girlhood should be about. It's what this organization embodies.
Yeah, and the Miss America organization, tell us a little bit more about it for people who might be familiar. We're talking about it as if people, maybe know what it is, but there are different organizations. Tell us more specifically about the Miss America organization, because I know they're, like you said, there are a lot of things that are important to the organization.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so there are 4 points on our crown, as you can see. So it's service, scholarship, sisterhood, and style.
Oh,
Ooh,
got that one down.
Got that one down. Thank you.
I actually didn't know that. Did you know that?
I had no idea. No.
So these are at the core of the organization. Our community service initiatives are a huge part of not only why we compete, but what we do with our year. And that's also a reason why I kept coming back. I'm extremely passionate about giving back to the community and being that megaphone for voices who are too often silenced.
Yeah.
So that's what I have found the difference between this organization and other systems are.
It's unbelievable.
It really is great. It's important, I think, in young women or any women, it doesn't have to be young women, to, instill those types of foundations. It just is a better blanket for life. And, it's so funny to hear you talk about when you started and you couldn't really look people in the eye. And now you're here doing interviews, multiple interviews a day already.
And I love it.
And you're doing
great at it.
And you're doing a great job. You're doing an amazing job. Did you have to take any, how did you get to that point? People watching might even wonder, like, did you take any public speaking, or you just kind of continued over time to build your own confidence?
Yeah, I think that was it. It was just surrounding myself with people who believed in me, that slowly that belief crept in for myself. And after a while of practicing and many years of competing, I kind of got the hang of it. I also was a public affairs specialist before being a recruiter for the Rhode Island Army National Guard. and I was able to go to the Defense Information School in Fort Meade, Maryland. It was an amazing experience, an amazing few months there, and they teach you things like public speaking, how to handle the media, social media, and the fun stuff like action shots for photography and videography, and how to.
You'll have to give us some tips.
I know.
I got all the angles
that
for
sounds
you.
awesome.
Please, I need all the angles. Get rid of the wrinkles.
You gotta flip your phone upside down. That's the key.
Oh.
No one knows this. If you flip your iPhone upside down and tilt it up a little bit,
Done.
We are
done. Every photo.
absolutely-
now.
Yeah. Everyone's gonna wonder what we're doing, and I'm gonna
that's
say,
simply it.
You're like,
Miss Rhode Island
like,
taught
say
me.
less,
Do
say
not
less.
question me.
I promise it works.
That's so good to know.
Alexia, it's so amazing to meet you and just to get to
you.
know you better. And just congratulations and like the best of luck. What a wonderful representation for our state. Truly, truly.
Yeah, we're really excited to see what you do. I know it's only been a few hours,
You guys
really,
are already here
since
doing
you
stuff.
won. I feel like we're like, yes, come in immediately. But we're excited to see what you do this year, and we'll definitely keep in touch with you and follow along on your
Yes.
journey because you're very inspiring.
Thank you so much for having me.
Of
and
course.
I want to see your daughter competing next year.
Oh, imagine
We're gonna.
that.
I'm gonna
I
keep
love
on.
Okay, I'm gonna tell her.
I think
Get a
that's
photo. I'm gonna show
Yeah.
Victoria tonight.
absolutely. Well, we're
FaceTime
not.
me instead.
Oh,
I'll
that's
tell
a good
her
one.
She has
Oh,
to compete.
this is a good Miss Rhode Island.
She's a great Miss Rhode Island. We're actually not done
you.
yet because we're
That's
going
right.
to meet Miss Rhode Island teen coming up right after this break. All right, well, we just met Miss Rhode Island, the newly crowned Miss Rhode Island. Now we are meeting the newly crowned Miss Rhode Island teen with the coolest name ever. Ocean Lombard joins us. Congratulations.
Thank you so much, and thank you so much for having me.
Oh,
Thanks
we're
for
so
being here
excited to
with
have
us.
you guys here.
Oh.
You have both been a breath of fresh air this
Yes.
morning. So nice to meet you. Tell us more about your journey and what made you want to compete.
At the heart of the Miss America organization is service, and I'm so passionate about community service. Personally, my community service initiative is the Bulldog Boutique. The Bulldog Boutique is a place at Westerly High School where all students can go and shop for free, no questions asked, on a wide range of apparel, ranging from everyday wear to tuxes and formal dresses for prom. So as Miss Rhode Island's teen, I want to grow this into all 74 public high schools in Rhode Island, creating Ocean State Outfitters,
so
inspired by
smart.
my name and the beauty of our state.
It's so smart. And I have to say, Ocean, like, so you're a junior in high school. I mean, quite honestly, it was a long time ago, but I can't even imagine being able to do this when I was in high school. How has it been balancing everything? Because obviously you're a good student, you're in a bunch of activities, and then you add this into the mix too. How does your schedule work? You just wanted to do this?
Yeah, I honestly get that that question a lot, but I'm so passionate about everything I do, for being Miss Rhode Island's teen, about the Bulldog Boutique, about everything I do. So I always make it work out because it brings me so much joy.
Yeah. There are just people like that.
Yes.
You just roll with it.
Well,
and
I think it's something we
you're born
see
like that.
with, some of the Miss Rhode Islands that we've seen come in. You guys do such a great job. I love the community element that is so important to you. It seems super genuine. It seems like something that you probably have always had, within you. And now you have an opportunity to really grow it, which I absolutely love. I want to know more about the competition because I am fascinated by pageants. And I, never really had the guts to do it, but like a little bit when you were like young. But tell me more about the competition and what you actually do during the competition.
Oh, that's a good question.
So the competition has several phases of competition. You start off with a 10-minute interview, and we had that 2 Saturdays ago. And then this past Saturday was the actual pageant on stage.
Gotcha.
And we have different numbers for the competition. I started off with the on-stage question, and then I moved on to my talent, which I danced. I'm a dancer.
Oh, awesome.
See, I love that there are so many layers.
That's what I mean
Yes.
about, the Miss America organization is very cool because they do so many different things. So
Yes.
that's great. So have you always been a dancer?
Yes, I've been dancing for 14 years now.
What type of
Unbelievable.
dance do you do?
I do a range, but I did a jazz and hip hop solo, but it was actually super special to me because this winter I got ACL surgery. I tore my ACL playing at a charity soccer game. So this is my first time
to
returning
perform.
to the stage and dancing. So it meant so much to me.
And it must have gone well because you won.
I know. I was praying it was going to go well too. I was like, oh, I'll see how it goes.
That's but again, like we've talked about this too. It's the resilience. It's the to get up and to keep going forward and to be positive. But tell me this. When you were like a young girl and you were kind of just thinking about maybe getting to like the pageantry, is it something that like you ever thought, wow, I could actually be crowned I mean, do you actually like, is it like a pinch me moment when they call your name?
Completely. It was unreal. To become Miss Rhode Island's teen was my dream. So when they announced my name, my dream was actually coming true.
Right.
It was the best moment of my life.
Because how long have you been competing in pageants?
I've competed in 3 pageants now.
Only 3?
Yes.
Wow. So this truly, like, you know, that's unbelievable because you do, like, and how do you prep? I mean, is that a silly question to ask?
How do you prepare for a pageant? You know, like what, or
Right.
do you just kind of go and hope for the best? Maybe you don't prepare.
I personally put in a lot of hard work and preparation. I saw every phase of competition as it was just that phase of competition I was competing in. For my talent, I was working so hard on it. For my interview, I was practicing questions with my pageant coach, with my mom. For fitness and gown, I was constantly walking, perfecting my walk. For my onstage question, practicing how to speak in front of people and answer hot topic questions.
Yeah.
So I really did prepare.
Because you have no idea, correct? Like, do you even have an idea of what they might ask you?
No.
Or really is just
It's
the wild,
whatever.
wild west?
I was actually
I was
honored.
gonna say, are they
Scare me.
hard? Are they hard questions?
They were hard, but I was honored to receive the onstage question award.
Oh my
Oh,
gosh,
no way.
that's
Oh, my
amazing.
goodness. So then you did great.
Yeah.
I was a little nervous. I was the first teen to compete, so I was the first person
Oh
to
You
my
were
get
the
an
first
onstage
one to
question.
go as well.
So I really had no idea what the questions could like maybe entail.
Wow.
So
And it's a series of questions, not just like one question.
it is one question.
Oh, it is one. So what was your
Yes.
question?
It was about transgender athletes.
Oh my God. So
Oh,
yeah,
so they really do hot
they're
topics.
like serious
Yeah, to
questions.
see how you would respond.
See how you
to it.
respond. I mean, and I have to say, and because, you know, I do have children in high school,
Mm-hmm.
it is not lost on me that there are, what an achievement this is to be in high school and to be able to go out there and be in a pageant and put yourself out there and to show your talents and how intelligent you are and all these pieces. I mean, I know kids in high school, and I know many of them could never do this. So truly, it is not lost on me how special this is because you are a remarkable woman to be able to do this.
Thank you so
Unbelievable.
much.
It really
Well,
is.
yeah, because public speaking is something that's very difficult, like Lexi was saying earlier, and especially at a young age, you don't really always have the confidence to look people in the eye, like you're doing a great job of doing. And you know, especially now with social media, you know, does social media play a role in your life? Now I'm just asking you as somebody who's interested to know.
You
because
can't compete.
But I think it's so interesting with, you know, teens now. Is that a role in your life, or do you not really partake in social media?
I personally use social media as a tool in my everyday life. I actually have a podcast called Ride the Wave with Ocean
God.
Lombard.
Oh, no way.
So I run an Instagram to promote my podcast. I also have an Instagram for the Bulldog Boutique to promote it.
Oh my gosh.
So I am constantly using social media to really maximize myself to my full potential.
It's unbelievable. And I just want to talk really quickly more about the Bulldog Boutique because I love that idea. And I think it's so special. You know, what truly just made you want to start this?
So my mom owned a clothing store when I was little. So from a young age, I've always really valued being able to own clothes that I feel comfortable and confident in. And then I got older, I gained a true passion for fashion. I walked to New York Fashion Week and Rhode Island Fashion Week. And I really saw students at my high school like struggling.
Yeah.
So I knew I wanted to be a part of something like this that could really give people the same opportunities as I have.
Unbelievable.
Well, it is so great to meet you. Good luck in Miss America. We can't wait to see
we
how
will be
you
watching.
do.
We'll be rooting,
I know that
tuning
it's
in.
coming up in September, so we definitely will be watching and following, and we'll follow up with both of you lovely ladies. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you for joining us at home. We will see you next time on Spotlight New England.